So in 2006, I bought the hardcover book of Stephen King's Sal, and I read a few chapters of it because I heard Eli Roth was going to direct it after Hostel, but he dropped out due to creative differences, and I totally forgot about this book until 10 years later when we finally got it straight to Blu-ray and Amazon Video. I've read that this film was doomed from the start because of legal reasons and distribution, but all the details were pretty confusing. But it still has movie stars John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson, who co-starred in the great film 1408, also written by Stephen King. This is actually John Cusack's third time in a Stephen King film. He was Gordy's older brother in Stand By Me. So people were interested in this film and some made sure to see it. From what I've read, more than most people don't like this film. It has a 4.3 on IMDb and 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. To be honest, I never put much stock into these ratings, but an 11%? Really? Then this week I watched whatever YouTube reviews I could find on it, and man, do people hate this movie.
This film is incredibly horrible. I mean, there is so much shit in this movie. It's so bad.
Cell is a laughably bad horror film.
This stars John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson, and it's an adaptation of a Stephen King story. No, it's not Cell, because that movie's freaking terrible. Has anyone seen that? Oh my god, that was bad.
A part of me started to think maybe I'm the dumb one because I remember really enjoying this film, so I rewatched it this week, and I still really like it. So yes, this is a positive review on this film. Probably the only one anyone will ever make. Yes, the film has some flaws, but to be honest, none of them really bother me, and I think that it's a unique take on the zombie subgenre. Okay, so I'm gonna get into spoilers on this video, so fair warning. It's about John Cusack, plays Clay Riddle. He writes graphic horror novels and is trying to keep in contact with his son after his divorce. When he's at an airport, his cell phone dies, and everyone who was using his cell phone at the time, which is pretty much everyone, turns into these fast-running, violent zombies. Everybody just starts killing each other. I think it's a pretty badass opening. He meets Tom McCoy, played by Samuel L. Jackson, and they team up to try to survive this. They meet a few people on the way and most of them die, but all the kills to me are really brutal and sad. It's exactly what I want in a zombie movie. I jumped up when that zombie killed DJ Liquid, and I felt sad when Alice died. So the whole movie, Clay is holding on to this hope that his ex-wife and son are still alive, and when they finally make it to his house, he finds a note from his son saying that his mom is a zombie, and he went to a place that Clay knows is a death trap. He gives a heartfelt goodbye to his two friends in another scene that was very well acted and made me feel sad. Then he goes to the death trap where thousands of zombies are. A lot of people complain about the CGI in this scene, and it's not great, but it's not horrible. He finds his son who is now a zombie, then it just cuts to him and his son looking for Clay's new friend, but it's just what zombie Clay is imagining as he walks with all the other zombies. Not the best ending, but I kind of like it. Even though I like Clay's character, I'm glad his character failed at saving his son and turned into a zombie. I'm sure there was a much better ending that they could have made, but I'm glad it wasn't a happy one. Honestly, this ending doesn't make sense, but when you really think about it, most of the movie doesn't make sense, and I kind of like that. It feels like a weird nightmare when you wake up and you're just like, what the fuck was that? It was cool, but what does it mean? What happened? So Stephen King not only wrote the book, but he wrote the screenplay of this, and people complained so much about the book's ending that he changed it to this, and it makes me really curious what the original ending is. Describing it just now, I skipped all the best stuff of the writing. These are technically not zombies. In the story, they're called phoners, but they act like zombies to me, so I consider this a zombie movie. They don't actually eat the humans though. They just kill and turn them into other phoners. They also play music and sound recordings from their mouths. They use it to mess with people. I love when one of the zombies is playing the last thing that Clay heard from his son as he talked to him on the phone.
Are you coming home? Are you coming home? I just want you to come home.
Johnny's voice. No, it's not.
I just want you to come home.
Do not listen to that shit. You
want
know that is not your son.
I just want you to come
Clay,
home.
no!
Hi, Dad.
I really like the sound design of this film. It feels kind of off and slightly cheap, but I think it gives it a creepy feel. And for some reason, I just really like that crazy guy that they meet.
Down, like, right there.
These phoners / zombies are really smart, and they're all connected through this one person called Raggedy, who all of these characters keep seeing in their dreams. I think that's badass. I love this guy. He's so mysterious and looks like a homeless guy you would just run into outside. Raggedy controls all these zombies. It's like they share one brain. If one zombie sees you, all the zombies see you, and they work in packs like bees or pigeons. But the really interesting thing about Raggedy is that he's the main villain in Clay's graphic horror novel. They ask him how it ends, and he tells them, it's a series that he never finished. I love all this and I think that it's a really cool twist. But it never explains who Raggedy is or Clay's connection to him. He's the most interesting part of the film and needed way more screen time and explanation. There is one scene where Clay is at his wife's house and gets attacked by a zombie who looks just like Raggedy to me, but it turns out to be Clay's wife, I think. That scene was confusing to me, but I was thinking maybe he drew Raggedy to look like his wife, which I think is funny. Now that I'm editing this, that is Raggedy who attacks him and they kill him, but then he kills him again later, and the ending when he kills him, I could buy that that's an hallucination because he's hallucinating the stuff with his son, but that whole scene with at his house, doesn't make any sense. It's kind of pissing me off now that I really think about it, but whatever, the positives outweigh the negatives to me. I would like these questions answered, but I like the movie enough where I can live with what we got. And what we got, in my personal opinion, is a unique, violent zombie movie. I like that it doesn't spend too much time getting to know these characters. We meet them all in the middle of a crisis, and I don't need character development in a zombie movie. What I need is some badass kills, likable enough characters, and a unique twist if they can think of one. And yes, this film could have been much better, but you could say that about pretty much every film. I rented this at a Redbox and I knew that it was straight to Blu-ray, so I wasn't expecting much out of it and I was pleasantly surprised. I had a fun time watching this movie. What else could I really ask for? I'm really not sure why so many people hate this movie, but it doesn't matter. Films are subjective and everyone has their own opinion. Sometimes you just like a movie or you don't like it for whatever reason, and I just like this movie. So is there anybody else out there that likes this movie? Leave a comment. I'm Jacob from Cinema Junkies. Thanks for watching. Keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and follow me on Instagram, Cinema Junkies_. Don't forget the underscore.